As a small business owner and a creative entrepreneur, I juggle everything from client onboarding, sales, proposals, contracts, and even event planning. These tasks are essential, but they're also repetitive and time consuming. That's where airSlate comes in. It's a no-code automation platform that lets you connect all these moving parts into one workflow that seems to run itself. airSlate is like your digital assistant. It connects forms, e-signatures, CRMs, payment systems, and email tools, all without writing a single line of code. So whether you're a solopreneur or a growing team, it turns scattered tasks into a single, effortless system that frees you to move faster and think bigger. So let's talk through a real-world example. Onboarding a new client for a creative project. Step 1, the client fills out a simple intake form. Step 2, airSlate automatically generates a personalized contract using their information. Step 3, the contract is sent out for e-signature so there's no PDFs bouncing around. Step 4, once the document is signed, the workflow triggers a welcome email and creates a new record in my project tracker. That's 4 steps I no longer have to manage manually. What once took hours now happens in minutes. Now here's the best part. Onboarding is just the beginning. airSlate helps businesses across multiple functions, so let's give you a few examples. Number 1, sales and proposal management. airSlate can automate proposal templates, send for approval, and track responses. Second scenario, contracts and agreement, and generate NDAs or vendor contracts instantly. Number 3, invoices and payments. Create invoices the moment the deal closes with payment links built in. Number 4 is team collaborations. airSlate workflow can route drafts and documents for internal approvals before anything goes out to the clients. So instead of juggling documents and emails, airSlate gives you a connected system that runs in the background. That means fewer errors, faster turnaround, and more time to focus on creating what's next. And that's why I use airSlate like so many other businesses, and why I think every business should consider automating at least a part of their workflows. Hey guys, this is Faye from Face World Media. This is your first time inside Workflow by airSlate. To help you familiarize with their interface, when you get started in their home, you will see that there are sample workflows to help you get started. Think of these as templates before you have to build them from scratch. I find these tutorials to be really helpful. Even if you have experience creating workflows, I think it's very helpful to watch these short videos. They're only about a minute each. Now, to get started, you can set up your document or create a workflow. If any of these sample workflows satisfies what you're trying to do, I recommend that you start with those. In the next step, I'm going to show you how to create a workflow from scratch. Let's talk about the workflow I have in mind. When I sign up with a brand or with a new client, I want to be able to update an entry inside Google Spreadsheet and then have workflow from airSlate automatically trigger that data update for my CRM, very straightforwardly send over the documents, the contracts the client needs. I'm going to keep it really simple. For the purpose of this workflow, it's going to be a single purpose, me as the only approval or approver, and have the document triggered and sent automatically. So first, we need to start automating the workflow by adding our documents, and then you can upload as many as needed. So here, what we can do is select either PDF or Docs, or you can also import from Google Forms. You don't have to already have a document created at this point, especially if you're testing out airSlate. Instead, you can create a fillable form, create a doc template, or import from Google Forms. So we're going to start with just create a fillable form. I'm going to call this new client onboarding. Description. For now, I'm going to do very simple, single line of text, first name, last name, email, and we're going to do a choice one. Okay, so let's do, based on the fields, we have new versus new, qualified to buy, closed, as someone who is Xiang Li. These people represent people from different companies, and these are the status, the client status. New, qualified to buy. All right, now we're going to have new, qualified to buy, and we have closed. And this is our client status. Really simple. Now I'm going to click on complete. So if you want to require all these fields and make sure they are required, all you have to do is last name, email status. Okay, that's it. So complete. Look at that. So our Google Sheet is done. And then we're going to, so that the trigger is added. By the way, you can have more than one trigger. All right, let's add the signer. So now we have two documents. I'm going to select this untitled form, which I did just now. We got some warnings here. Workflow cannot be triggered because assign signer and remove parameters to execute. Next document. All right, let's delete this receipt thing. And we only have this. All right, so to understand how to fix this, we're going to click on this and see if any conditions are unfulfilled. All right, workflow started, an invitation was sent. You can now check the package invitation to complete. Oh, interesting. So let's see what we got here. Look at that. You're invited to fill out a document in the workflow 3, and that's sent by me, FaceWorld. So once I open that, let's see if the steps are clear. Let's do mom. Document is now complete. I can also download this. Now there's a zip file, untitled form. This is the form I just filled out. Check the package status. Waiting for Faye to fill out. Finished. I created a dummy document, FaceWorld LLC and XYZ company. So what we're going to do is upload that document from my computer. This is just a dummy data. Look at this and I can decide how many signatures I need. You are probably already familiar with something like this within airSlate. Let's go ahead and grab the signature and add the fields directly to this document. We're going to also grab a date. Click once. Here, same thing for the representative side. Click once. Over here, click the date, drag it over here. So now for this signature is automatically the second person, obviously, and then this is date number 2. And now you can hit complete. This document is created. So here's a client intake form, and you can assign fields. Click edit document. You can see all the fields are already assigned. You can discard the change. If you want to capture any of that information, especially like the client intake form, drop that using bot. You have the choice of Airtable, Dropbox, Google Drive, Google Sheet, Salesforce as well. Select bot. You can trigger an email via Gmail on document completion. Send an email from your Gmail account when a signer completes the document. So let's go ahead and connect that. The trigger will run automatically once the previous step is completed. Now, to connect the sender, you're going to connect your email. Let's hit continue, continue again. Now we're back to the form. You can select recipient. That's going to be the recipient. You can add someone to copy as well. This is going to be the email notification. This is only for our internal reference. So I ran into a bit of a hiccup here that for some reason, the connection I have with Gmail was private. And no matter what I did, the status was failed. And now finally, after I restore connection, disconnect, reconnected one more time, it's working. So I'm going to show you this full workflow right now. The signer is going to be Xiang Li. Let's trigger that. And we know to get the email, let's go into liara@gmail.com. We're going to go to the airSlate email series and we'll trigger in just a moment. Look at that right here. So let's go ahead and fill out the document. We know there are 2 of them. One is just a client intake form. Here I'm pretending to be a client to work with FaceWorld. I want to learn how to grow my YouTube channel in 6 months. Let's go to next document. Because I've chosen to be a client at this point, I'm going to sign this document with FaceWorld. Right here, I click and click. By the way, you can easily design, even physically sign, or simply use a digital signature. But now that this is done, let's click on finish. And airSlate is getting my document ready. I can hit this download button right here. We got a zip file. Let me open it up for you. There are 2 documents here I just signed. We have this one right here, and we also have the signed document verified by airSlate. Now I'm going to go back to Xiangli. Guess what? I have one more email right now. Document completed. This is the email notification, just so we're clear on this being a test.
haixiangliart@gmail. I can customize this to be her first and last name or just her first name. Fei Wu's workflow number 4, which I can rename into client intake plus client contract have been signed. Thank you so much, Faceworld LLC. You can customize this entire message to your liking. Now that it's all done, I'm going to log back into airSlate and show you the status. When you're satisfied with that, you can also go ahead and publish this workflow. You can go to history and see all the things that I've done. Go to details, packages, integrations, package workflow. It's completed. You can see all the steps associated with every step is done. You also can export the field data. This is what it looks like. All right, let's download this right now and see what it looks like. Here's the agreement, certification of completion. We have the client intake form, and also we have the contract. What if after the last step, which is sending an email to the client, you can actually record that inside your favorite CRM? So I'm going to click on plus sign and choose bot. Personally, for my company, I use HubSpot. And when we first got started, we use Google Sheets. You're going to find a lot of different options. And I know another one that's very popular is Salesforce. So look at all the things that you can do with Salesforce. In my case, I'm going to say HubSpot. You can export documents to HubSpot or export field data to HubSpot. Let's first try the data. So I just want, in this case, client's first, last name, and their email. Let's sign into our existing database. Okay. If you don't have HubSpot, you can sign up for an account. Let's go ahead and sign one up. Next, connecting airSlate to Faceworld Media, choose account. And you're going to say, and now we're connected. We can select a board, company contacts, deals, line items, and I'm going to say contacts. Let's continue there. Do you want to always create a new record or update a record if none is found? So record the fields, contact. So you can search by name, full name, or email. Why not? Select and has to match. And we can select client intake and the field, we can say its name. Click on done. All right, that's it. Now you can do data mapping. So map fields, click on that button. We can search for a name. In this case, full name or email right here. Done.
If you have watched it this far, I'm going to give you some extra tips. When you first hear about workflow or designing a workflow, it can feel intimidating. For someone like myself who has had a tech background, which is not required for you to use airSlate, I understand that it can feel intimidating, but stick to it. The good news is that airSlate actually comes with a lot of pre-built templates. That means that you can actually start looking at workable real-world examples before you have to build something from scratch. And if you ever feel that you're getting stuck, you're getting some errors, don't give up too easily. The first few times around, building your first workflow can be challenging. But as you know, if you have watched the video and watched other businesses thrive with airSlate, you know it's worth the effort to learn it. Now, if you have a partner or someone who is eager to learn how to set up a workflow using airSlate, I'd say having a partner to learn with you is fantastic. So I would love to hear your comments, your thoughts, and I've really enjoyed working with airSlate so far. I'm so glad they can sponsor this video so we can talk very openly about how I learned to use the system and how you can too. Now you see intake, signature, and CRM in one flow. If you want help tailoring this to your approvals and data rules, talk to an airSlate expert. And if you prefer hands-on, try it yourself. Links are below. Thank you for watching. I'm going to see you next time.